With a chance to head into the bye week at 500, the Jets came out flat.
Picked off!
Mistakes and missed opportunities leave the Jets now with more questions than answers.
Don't let the pebbles stumble you.
We'll explain what went wrong, and Otis gets locker room reaction.
You just keep grinding, you just keep fighting. Good time for everybody to look in the mirror. Try and win every damn one of these games we have left.
This is Jets Late Night. Yeah, last week the Jets were dancing to victory, but this week they were tripping all over themselves. Welcome to Jets Late Night. Steve Overmyer here, and filling in for Eric Coleman is our guest host and former NFL tight end, Joseph Fauria. Good to see you, man.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Thank you for coming in and giving us all of your insights. I can't wait for what we're about to embark on right now.
Me too.
And I think we start with kind of big picture, because 10 days ago, this is a Jets team that dominated the Bills. But this is not the Jets team we saw today.
So you're talking about their inconsistency.
A little inconsistent.
Here's the thing. It's any given Sunday, and this team came off a good division win against the Bills last week. And after that, they had 10 days of rest. You know, they had a few days of rest for the weekend. And after a high like that and a game with a bye week looming after, your spirits are kind of convoluted. They're all over the place.
Right.
And for the most part, guys in the NFL, they have habits. They're very habitual kind of guys. And when you throw off that habit and kind of throw them off a little bit and have those Friday, Saturday, Sunday off after their Thursday win.
It's breaking a rhythm.
It's breaking your rhythm. And guys sometimes don't know what to do with that freedom sometimes.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, this is a team that looked like they were out of sorts and out of rhythm, and it all started at the very beginning. So let's take a closer look at the three plays that were most important. We found out why Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh McCown have been journeyman quarterbacks through their careers. Combined, they've spent time on 13 NFL rosters. That's 40% of the NFL. Both guys failed to menace against their former teams, like when they threw back-to-back interceptions in the opening half. It was obvious the Jets would need to make a play on special teams or defense, and we thought this was going to be the turning point of the game. But Marcus May's interception was negated by his own penalty for illegal contact. It was 9-3 Bucks. When Fitzpatrick extended Tampa's lead to 12 with about 6 minutes left, New York goes into a bye now at 4-6, which means they'll have to go 5-1 the rest of the way to have a shot at making the playoffs on the final record of 9-7.
We didn't play well. I mean, it's one of the areas that didn't play well, but all areas didn't play well. They played in our backfield all day long. We missed blocks or we got penalties, and it was just a cluster, and we didn't do well. I don't know. They just got after it. We knew what they were doing. They knew what we were doing. We got after it. We played hard. They played hard. We lost a unanimous decision in a 12-round fight. No, it's week to week. You can't hold on to last week, and we didn't hold on to last week. We prepared well. We came down here well. They executed better than we did. The team was prepared. But when you lose, it's everybody. It's coaches and it's players. It's not just players. It's coaches, too. And it starts with me, and then it starts with the rest of the staff, then it starts with the players. No, the only good thing is we lost the game in all phases, coaching-wise, offense, defense, and special teams. We all gave up plays, and we're all responsible and accountable. We got to look in the mirror. We got 2 weeks, and we got to get back to work.
So Tampa, this is what I'm trying to figure out. You know, Tampa did not have a whole lot to be playing for. They've got a backup quarterback. They're 26th in defense, 30th in pass defense. Not much better on the run side of things, and yet the Bucs were dominating in the trenches the entire day. I just can't put my finger on why.
The age-old tale. Games are won in the trenches.
Yeah.
And with the exception of Brandon Shell, the right tackle, who had a good game for the most part, the offensive line was not clicking. And against a front that's pretty good usually, but not doing so well this year, Gerald McCoy was overdue for some sacks. But before this, they were last in the whole league, entire league, in getting sacks. But today they got 6. They got 6, Steve. Come on.
That's tough to watch.
Tough to watch. And for the most part, when the trenches are not won, you're not going to win the game, obviously with penalties as well. But lack of rushing attack equals long third and longs.
And that's the thing, is that put them in really bad situations on third down. And Josh McCown is the most successful third down quarterback in the NFL this year. But the Bucs held the Jets to just 3 for 15 on third down conversions. Was it because of the lack of rushing, it had them off schedule by the time they got to third down?
So there's a simple formula. first and second down, if you get that first down in those first 2 downs, you negate even having the need to do it for third down. And if you're not getting enough rushing yards or enough yards before that, you're putting yourself in a 3rd and long spot. And that's not where you want to be. And that is exactly where the Jets found themselves every time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem is, you know, when you have those long 3rd down conversion attempts, it's a lot more difficult to get a 3rd and 15 to hit than a 3rd and 2.
Exactly. And lack of a rushing attack leads to long 3rd and longs, which leads to low conversion percentage.
Yeah, and maybe a more predictable kind of an offense as well. According to Pro Football Focus, by the way, Josh McCown was pressured on 17 dropbacks. The offensive line certainly struggled in this game today, and our Otis Livingston caught up with tackle Kelvin Beachum after the game.
Frustrating of a loss is this. You know, it seemed like you guys are one play away from getting right back into it, possibly winning the game.
It stings, but we put ourselves in that position. We put ourselves in this position. We got to find a way to fight our ways out.
How do you guys do that?
You just keep grinding. You just keep fighting. You just keep chopping wood.
We had gotten away from seeing you guys making the key penalties, you know, on offense and defense, but today it reared its ugly head again. How do you work your way through that?
You know, you just keep putting yourself in a good position throughout practice and throughout the game. And when we do those things, penalties are not something we have to worry about. But today we have to worry about those things. We own it. We got to deal with it. But we got a great opportunity to go into this bye week and fix those things and then come back and try to string some games together.
Is this a good time for the bye week?
This is the perfect time. You know, I've already started thinking about things that I can look at, watching every single play this year that up to this point and just critiquing myself and looking at the things that I've done well, things that I haven't done so well early on in the season, fix those things so those things don't rear their head later in the year.
I'm sure you guys aren't looking at the wild card picture right now, but I want to take you there. You had an opportunity to be 5-5 going into bye week, and now you're 4-6. What do you think of your chances? Do you have the players in this locker room that can turn this around and get into that playoff picture again?
We do. I believe in this locker room. I believe in every single man in this locker room, all the coaches, the staff, this organization. We're going to do whatever it takes to put ourselves in that position. I don't know how it's going to get done. I don't know how it's going to look getting done, but we're going to find a way to get ourselves there.
All right, so clearly they need to make some adjustments on the rushing side. Why weren't we able to see that running game adjusted in the game?
Well, I mean, the obvious glaring problem was no Matt Forte.
Okay.
And they're coming off a week where they almost had, what, almost 200 yards
194,
rushing.
yeah.
194. And that lifts your spirits. So with the offense, coming off a good win, with some time to think about it, you almost develop a certain amount of pride. Oh, hey, we could do this. We could rush for 200 yards every game.
Right.
And that wasn't the case this week. But you saw them continuously going to the same runs, banging their heads against the wall, right, hoping that something would change, and it just didn't happen. Because I've been in games where we were sticking by our run game no matter what, because our offensive coordinator, our head coach, would believe in us that we would eventually get that one break. And besides that one break, Bilal
Powell had a nice run.
Yeah, a nice run. And besides, you take that run out, they were 15 touches for 31 yards. On first and second down.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's only 2 yards you're averaging, so that just leads you for a long third down every time.
It puts you behind the 8 ball in the most important down, third down, and that is one of the reasons why this offense just could not continue to extend these drives. All right, we are going to be coming back to give you a better idea as to what went wrong with the defense and more from the locker room. But first, each week we ask you to tweet us your video reaction to the game by using the hashtag #MyJetsStory. You're watching Jets Late Night.
Jets are 4-6 going into the bye week, coming off a loss. Robbie caught a touchdown, but man, that O-line. At least we're not the Giants.
Coach Talk on Jets Late Night is sponsored by Toyota.
And welcome back to Jets Late Night, the moment you've all been waiting for, us standing next to one another. My good friend, a good foot taller than me, Joseph Fauria. Good to see you once again.
You still pull it off, Steve.
Yeah, well, listen, you know, I mean, you're the star. And this is why athletes love to talk with me, because they always look taller. But when you're 6'8", you look tall standing next to anybody.
Everywhere.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Jets defense. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, we know here in New York that Ryan Fitzpatrick is prone to make some mistakes. They were able to pressure him, but he was able to escape that pressure. Why were the Jets not able to get inside Ryan Fitzpatrick's head?
Right. Fitzpatrick has been on a bunch of teams. He's prone to mistakes, but guess what? Fitzpatrick is still a really tough guy.
Yeah.
You saw his elusiveness in the pocket. He got away. There was one play in one of the first quarters where there was a defensive end had a free shot on him.
Right.
And he got out of there. But compared to McCown, on the other hand, who's been really kind of stationary in the pocket, and you kind of called it Eli Manning kind of just followed the turtle.
He went into turtle mode on a couple of them.
Mode. No, but Fitzpatrick.
That's how an older quarterback stays healthy in the NFL.
Right. When you're pushing 15 years in the league, McCown, as he was, he showed it was actually a testament to how old he was. But Fitzpatrick, on the other hand, showed his looseness.
I think if there was one thing that surprised me, okay, so you've got no Jameis Winston, you have no Mike Evans. It seemed like we knew that Deshaun Jackson was going to be the main target. As a matter of fact, Fitz had a 95.6 passer rating when targeting Deshaun Jackson, according to ProFootballFocus.com. Are you surprised the Jets didn't put more attention on D-Jax?
I was surprised. I was expecting, without Mike Evans, for the defense to put two guys on Deshaun Jackson because he is their biggest threat. And when I was playing, my teammate was Calvin Johnson on the Lions, and that's what they did. No respect to me, but a lot of respect to him. They'd put a safety on top, or hell, if we're close to the goal line, they'd put two defensive backs on him right on the line.
Well, I tell you, and D-Jax had some really important catches. He had 6 catches, but 4 of them were for first down. A lot of questions on the defensive side, and Otis Livingston had to catch up with one of the Jets linebackers, Jordan Jenkins, after the game.
You guys coming off a game where you were able to take it to the Buffalo Bills on both sides of the ball, and then you come out and play a Tampa team that was in disarray. A lot of people thought that you should have won this game. What's the emotion of this locker room right now?
It sucks, man. Losing the game, it's not a fun thing to have, and this one is probably going to sit for us a little longer because we're going into the bye week. It's going to be that much longer of a time until you get back out there again. It's not going to be another 2 weeks till you play. It's also a good thing having all that time because you get to think about how you played all season, how you played in this last game, some of the mistakes you made in some of the games we've lost, and some of the positives you made in some of the games we've won, and allows you to think about how you want to finish the season, what you need to work on to get better, and where you need to be mentally to finish strong and try and win every damn one of these games we have left.
You guys had an opportunity to go to the bye week 5-5, right in the thick of the wild card chase. Now you guys are 4-6. What do you think about your chances? What do you have to work on in order to get back into that picture?
We can go out there. We can play with the best of the best. We just have to focus on look at who you are, look at how you've played, and look at what it's going to require to finish where we want to go. Because the margin for error for us is very slim, if not zero. So we just have to find a way to eliminate all these penalties and just play sound football. If we want to be back in the thick of things, we got to keep going out there and fighting and coming out on top.
Here's the thing. We really can't get too much after the defense because you hold a team to 15 points. You've got to feel pretty confident that you're going to win that game.
I mean, here's the thing. The Jets' defense played well.
Yeah.
15 points, you think you're winning that game if you're holding the team to 15 points. But the offense wasn't clicking. They weren't making the plays. They had no rush attack. So, that being said, the Jets feel that pressure. It's kind of deflating.
Yeah.
And, that when your offense isn't kind of like, you lose that team aspect.
Sure.
And it's like, hey, we're doing all these plays on defense. Hey, offense, throw us a bone.
But you know what? The one thing is, at least it sounded like in the locker room, there was no finger pointing. There was nobody on the defense that was blaming the offense because they know there's going to come some point where it was the defense's fault for.
We can point the fingers, but they're showing good team morale.
Yeah, it's easy for us to point fingers from the outside looking in. All right, but we are going to have a little bit more when we come back, especially on the biggest third down of the game, plus a return to the locker room with Otis. You're watching Jets Late Night.
Welcome back to Jets Late Night. I'm Otis Livingston along with linebacker Darren Lee. A frustrating, disappointing loss. Can you put into words what it felt like? Defensively, you guys were able to hold up a lot of the game, but still end up with a loss.
Yeah, those are the games that are tough. To give hats to them. They came out and fought also, and we fought too. Just has a couple plays out there.
And we were getting used to seeing you guys make those game-changing plays. One of the interceptions got called back because of a penalty, and now it's starting to rear its ugly head again. How do you guys work through that?
Just keep playing. The call's calling, so we got to go out there and keep playing. Definitely other plays you could have made. We'll go back and look at the film. You know, this was going to sting for a while. That's part of it, but we got to keep fighting.
Can you give us the mood of the locker room now?
I mean, everybody's, you know, disappointed for sure because we should have won that game. But like I said, tip your hat to them. It is what it is. We lost. We gotta go back and get better.
You guys had an opportunity to go into the bye week 5-5. Now you're 4-6. What are your chances in this wild card race?
We're not looking forward to that. We're just taking it one game at a time. You know, maybe, you know, that end goal, we'll keep our head up, we'll keep our head down and keep working right now. When we look up, hopefully we'll be there. But right now, we're just going to take it one game at a time.
Is this a good time for the bye week, though?
Good time for everybody to look in the mirror. And that's what everybody's going to do, including myself.
Thanks a lot. All the best. For more Jets Late Night, please stay tuned.
Don't forget, every week, you can just tweet us your photos to #MyJetsSwag and appear on Jets Late Night. Let's see what the fans are giving us this week. We have fans donning colors from all over. You know what? You have to have some face paint.
Face tat.
Yeah. Is that right?
Oh, it's you know.
Fans clearly in Tampa, making the trip down to Tampa to enjoy this game as well. And it's you know, just wish that it was a better outcome here for the Jets. All right, each week we try to get a little football education. It's Football 101. Former tight end Joseph Fauria is here to explain the unexplainable. So here's the situation. Tampa is at 3rd and 15, and the Jets are throwing a dime package at them, which you expect.
Yeah.
But the unexpected happened.
The unexpected happened. And we'll start it off by, it's obviously a dime package. This tight end's going in motion to show whether or not they're in man. And the defender went with him, so we know it's man. And now it's just off to the races. The big guys are in front. The freight trains are in the middle of the road with no regard. Right here, 4 or 5 miles, he has leverage on the guard, and you need to keep that leverage and stay in the B gap. But right away, from the snap, he loses leverage. He thinks it's a pass the whole time, but it's not. It's a run. And once he loses leverage, this great block by Cameron Brate on the defensive end, and the wide receiver, he does what every coach loves. He took 2 defenders out of the play. And look, the numbers.
Oh, my goodness. Now you've got like 2 wildebeests coming straight at you.
2 wildebeests in the middle. It's like Lion King. Where's Simba? Oh, there's Simba right there, and he wants none of it, so he falls down. I mean, what are you going to do?
And if not for May, that might have ended up being a touchdown. But sometimes when you're expecting a pass, the toss sweep can actually work.
Usually, you see teams on 3rd and long do a draw play because, you know, you're faking the pass and you hand it off to your running back. You let the defense go back. But no, this time around, the Buccaneers offense and offensive staff knew with this package, this dime package, that they had the numbers and the leverage to go against and have this run break for 20-plus yards.
As long as they were going to be able to clear it from the outside, you knew that you would have a freight train in front of them. And
2 freight trains.
You had 2 freight trains leading the way,
yes.
And it almost led to a touchdown, but certainly a disheartening moment for the Jets in this game. All right. Great insights and analysis. We'll definitely have more for you in just a couple of minutes. We are back with more Jets Late Night right after this.
How was my awkward left knee?
Welcome back to the show. The Jets losing this one by a tough margin here to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I feel like one of the biggest problems is this is a Jets team that continues to shoot themselves in the foot. They are the 2nd most penalized team in the NFL. Is this something that's like a virus that is contagious, that everybody gets the penalty bug?
Not everyone gets it. When I was playing, you were only allotted 1 penalty per facet of the game, special teams, offense, and defense. This team, they're kind of young, lack of experience. It shows
they get 1 penalty per player, I believe.
Yeah, right. It just shows almost a lack of discipline.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but it's lack of discipline when you're committing that many penalties. You're shooting yourself in the foot. No matter how many yards, touchdowns, points you put up, if you're turning the ball over and you're committing that many penalties, you're not going to win a game.
The penalties have been a problem for this team all year. They've tried everything to try to fix it. The next question is, are they going to be able to get over that hump? Joseph Fauria, great having you on the show. Great job, great insights, and we really appreciate your analysis and look forward to having you back in studio again sometime.
I hope so. Hope soon.
Yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully it'll be better ideas next time. All right. For Joseph Fauria and Otis Livingston, I'm Steve Overmyer. Take care.